The healthcare community discussion of the nation has finally begun. This all started nearly 20 years ago from the broadcast of the Medical A Team, the undisputed kings of health talk radio. Favorite family dentist Dr. Marlon B. Jackson, and favorite family physician Dr. Millard J. Collier. And the legend continues. You are invited to call right now at 404-622-4444 and ask your medical questions, because your health is important. And now, Doctors Marlon B. Jackson and Millard J. Collier.
All right. Boy, I'm feeling so great. Let me tell y'all why I'm feeling so great. I feel good off that what you call it. Health got me dancing like an apostolic. I'm looking good and fit because I can't be a catabolic. Hey, that's like an alcoholic. I'm not wasting away. Looking good. If your health is important and you know it, you should never be scared to show it. But this is what I need you to do if you really want to be healthy. You got to eat right. You got to get plenty of exercise. I don't mean pulling away from the table. You got to push and pull your own weight. And if you're over 40, you got to take proper supplements. One-a-day vitamin ain't going to do, y'all. And, oh, yeah, you got to get your rest. Your body needs rest. If your health is important and you know it, you should never be scared to show it. So flow it before you blow it, or you blow up. Hey, for those of you who tuning in for the first time, this is no mistake. You were led here because this is the longest broadcast. And when I mean longest, I mean the longest broadcast over 25 years. And right now you have the Medical A Team. You have myself, Dr. Marlon Jackson, Atlanta's best DDS, and the original hip-hop doc.
It ain't nothing but a C thing, baby. The hip-hop doc's going crazy.
All right. Well,
WYZE is what made us.
And that's why we're going to keep us. Because we are, like I said, the longest health broadcast in the whole wide world. Don't you get it twisted. And let's talk about a few things. One, hey, I want to say, first of all, for those of you listening, especially in Instagram world, this is Dr. Marlon Jackson. I know a lot of y'all have liked a lot of our comments, but this is how we do it and how we've been doing it. We bring a health broadcast that is not limited to just talking about how good you feel or what my teeth look like. All right, we talk about your health is integrated into everything. That includes your political health, your fiscal health, how your credit doing, all right? How do you, when it's holidays, how do you get along with people? We're also in this age of the era of the woman. There's a lot of things happen with the women. For example, the political stage, they are starting to begin to dominate. We discussed whether that's a good thing or not, but I think it's a wonderful thing. And then we also have, as men, we also have a lot of people in power with going on with the sexual harassment issues, of which us men should pay particular attention to, because if you are making what we call unwanted or unwelcome advances, especially on the job, it can cost you a job. Well, how do we combat that? Well, it's simple. First of all, if we go to work, we should go and work. All right? I know at my office and at Southside Medical Center that I'm surrounded by beautiful women. And I'm sure they don't mind me adoring them, but we just have to trust ourselves to not lust after them. And if it's unwelcome, if you're not attracted to a woman, then they don't want to be bothered with you. If they don't want to be bothered with you, don't fool with them. Respect them. Respect them.
Watch what you say and watch how you say it, and just be respectful, as Dr. MBJ has stated. There's no reason that we cannot have the usual and customary conversations at work and in the workplace. You just got to know when you're crossing the line, and most of the time you do. If it's something you wouldn't want your mother or your grandmother to hear you say or see you do, then chances are it's probably not the right thing to do. So use the mother and the grandmother test and say to yourself, think before you speak, and make sure, again, you offering and receiving. You get what you give. If you're being respectful, you should be respected. And that keeps everything on flow in the workplace.
And like I said, you can adore women. Women love compliments. But the cat calls and the, things that, would cheapen your compliment is not what they're looking for. Like I said, don't trust your lust. All right, and we all, I'm sure most men, I can even speak, we all have lust, but you got to control that. That's where being strong in the word is important, of which I'm sure after our broadcast, them brothers who are so strong in the word, and they don't think I may tune in, but hey, I be trying to get that truth too, because we all need it. We all need it. But the phone lines are open. Give us a call, 404-622-4444. If you have questions for us, we have answers for you. Dr. Collier, we sure did miss you at the last broadcast. I filled the space in. I even had a couple questions about polyps, and thank God for you during the years. I've been able to pick up some medical acumen, so I was able to fill in for you.
No, doctor, I'm sure you did not miss a beat, because, man, you know that 20 plus years we've been educated and receiving information osmotically and doing those things, passing on the good thing. Dr. Collier was celebrating his anniversary and was out of town, so that was great. And Dr. Jackson held it up like he always does. But we are both here now. The medical A team is in the house, and we want to talk to you.
Well, I want to compliment Mrs. Collier for being able to put up with you all them years. She's done a great job, and she looks just gorgeous doing it. A lot of times, I'm going to have to say it, some women, when they get married, they tend to just let it go. But she keeps herself looking so good for the great doctor, and that's a wonderful thing. But we are taking calls. We have the subject is open. We can't forget, Dr. Collier, this is a holiday. People are going to be eating. We got to talk about that input-output.
We going to do
404-622-4444. You have the doctors. The doctors are in. The medical aid team. The partnership that is the longest health broadcast in the whole wide world is available right now.
And, and a lot of times when they have two people on a broadcast, they try to stimulate the broadcast by having mess and, and arguments and all kind of stuff like that. But I have to say that our broadcast is complimentary, and that's probably why we've been together so long and will continue to be. We got a call. Hello, caller. You're live and on the air. Your health is important.
Okay, Dr. Jackson, Dr. Collier had the holiday, and I'm one of the fans. I have several questions for both of you. And one question is the turkey. There's so many people doing the ground turkey and then cooking the turkey. Could you sort of emphasize about keeping turkey out? Some people put it in the water, and I was thinking that the turkey spoils so fast, and lots of people don't know what is going on with how it have changed over the years. We used to put a pie in the window and put it in the well to keep cool. You can't do that anymore. Now when you cook those collards, you have to either keep them hot, or either put them in the fridge, so they won't spoil them. Lots of people, it's old school, and they don't know all the different things that's happening. my next question is that the vitamins, I'm one of your patients, and you had recommended vitamin D to me. And lots of people are not, they're taking the multiple vitamins, but certain type of vitamins that you may need, like the magnesium, the vitamin D. So how do we know which vitamin we need? And a lot of people turn into vegetarian, and they don't be checked by their doctor to see how the protein is. I just asked a young lady a while ago, I said, what are you doing for protein? She said, nothing, But they stopped eating meat and just started eating vegetables. And what happened? What happened with their body? What just happened with their body being a female,
Well, as well as being a male. Great questions. Let's start off with the supplements and what we recommend. One, Dr. Collier's big 3 recommendations, the tri-pack that everybody should take every day. Male, female, sick, healthy, doesn't matter. If you want to live a long and healthier life, you need to take every day omega-3 fish oils. You need to take vitamin D3, and you need to take a probiotic. Now, all of those products are available on my website or at my office locally. But on my website, Lipodrops, LIPODROPS.com, you can obtain all of those things, and they will do it. Now, you stated very clearly a complete multiple vitamin, not just a multiple vitamin, but it needs to state on the label that it is a complete multiple vitamin. That means that it has everything in it at the optimal doses. However, most of those vitamins only have a small amount of vitamin D, maybe 400 international units. And what I recommend, a minimum on a daily basis, is 5,000 international units. And they can't put that in a multiple vitamin, which is why you need to have a separate tablet to do that. There's no such thing as a generic vitamin. A vitamin is a fixed chemical formula. So you ought to be able to get over 100 vitamin tablets for less than $10 at any store. If you're paying more than that, you're paying for either a celebrity endorsement or a pretty package, or they just charging you more than they need to. So you don't need to worry about a complete multiple vitamin. Very easy to obtain and easy, every grocery store, every pharmacy has them. No problem there. Dr. Jackson, talk about that food preparation issue.
Okay, food preparation. That's an excellent subject to talk about, especially during this time of year. The first principle of food preparation is wash your hands with soap and water, wash your hands with soap and water. First of all, a lot of the enterovirus is transferred from inadequate hand washing. We all have to go to the bathroom, but a lot of us don't use soap, and they don't wash their hands properly.
And don't wash the back of their hands.
That's what I mean, properly. You got to wash the whole hand, top and bottom. You always wash the surfaces that you either preparing the food, especially if you have poultry or beef products and so forth. Those cutting surfaces, you need to wash them when you're cutting the food. Hopefully you have a cutting board. You wash that in between. Don't just let the food set out like the caller stated, because the longer it's out, the more you have bacteria that can grow in the food, because after a certain temperature, it favors a certain bacterial growth that can make us sick. After you've prepared the food and you wash your surfaces, like I said, if you're mixing different types of food like meats and vegetables, yes, you need to wash your hands again. All right. And I'm not for using those hand sanitizers during this period. I don't know what's in those chemicals of the hand sanitizer and how it affects us internally. So Dr. Jackson does not advocate using the hand sanitizer.
Hand sanitizer is better than nothing, but do not approach the efficacy and quality of cleaning with just soap. The process is called saponification. That's what kills the germs, viruses, and fungi. So bacteria, funguses, and viruses all killed very effectively by soap and the saponification process, whereas those hand sanitizers just do that. They sanitize, but they don't thoroughly and totally clean and sterilize like soap will do.
All right. And then after you've prepared the food and you're getting ready to cook it, bake it, like Dr. Collier always says, a lot of times you have some people that are just cooks extraordinaire. They can cook a lot of food and it all tastes so good. A lot of times they don't have enough place to store it. As Dr. Collier has eloquently stated, if you cook a lot of food, and don't just put the warm food in the refrigerator. Let your food cool. Don't put it in hot, because what you do is you upset the temperature of the refrigerator, of which keeps the food at a cool enough level to prevent bacterial growth. So do not put warm foods in the refrigerator. Let it cool down.
All right. I think that comprehensively addresses it. Those are great questions, and we really appreciate you listening and calling in. You are a great listener, and we just appreciate that kind of support.
Thank you.
All right. Now, in terms of, you talked about supplements, Dr. Jackson stresses after 40, you got to take the proper supplement. I do have a product that I use. It's called Healthy Cell. Now, it's probably a little more expensive than most average nutrient or supplements. It does have the vitamins. It does have phytonutrients, which are plant-based nutrients that provide the body with stem cell improvement, helps you sleep. It also has vitamin D. Unlike like Dr. Collier stated, if you have a vitamin D deficiency, you're not going to get it just in any product. You're going to need that concentrate. But the product that I have, like Healthy Cell, like I said, when you get a little older and your joints start aching in the morning, I will take it. It has a day formula and a night formula. I'll take that day formula, and in 15 minutes, let's say my knees might be a little stiff, because, I do work out and roller skate and whatnot. 15 minutes later, I don't have any stiffness, and it's a whole day event. No pain medicine taken whatsoever. In terms of sleeping, no problem sleeping. All right, but that's another product that I would suggest, and I do have that on my website. By the way, Dr. Jackson's website is up and running. Dr. Marlon B. Jackson, DDS. Go to that face page. We do archive the shows, so you might want to listen. And if you haven't, like my page, go to Dr. Collier. What's your Facebook page again?
Hip Hop Doc 1.
Hip Hop Doc 1.
Hip Hop Doc 1.
I need to go ahead and get mine changed to Hip Hop Doc 2. But anyway,
that's actually a good idea.
like us, okay, and then you'll be able to get access to not only information about us or information about the shows, but the products that we use, so that we keep looking fit and good. Because, like I said, I'll be trying to be attractive so that there won't be a problem if I want to adore somebody. So I'm just joking, y'all. But 404-622-4444. But speaking on that note, seriously, it seems like a lot of the men that are kind of in problem, got hot water right now, they're not exactly the attractive individuals. For example, you don't hear about the George Clooney's or the Denzel Washingtons. I don't think they have that problem. In fact, they probably have a problem with too many people trying to get to them, and I think a lot of that does rest in the area of a potential attractiveness. So if you're unwanted, it might be because your smile ain't right. Okay, your breath might be kicking. Okay, if your breath is kicking and you have that smile, that is the only kind that your mama can love.
That jack-o'-lantern look.
Then you might need to work on yourself. Okay, if you're grossly overweight, that may be a problem too.
And then you're not over 70.
Okay, well let's.
That's the problem.
No, we ain't talking about no age right now, because a lot of
all them cats over 70.
Well, all of them.
Every one of them.
Okay, well, we got another phrase for that, but we're not gonna use that on this broadcast. But like I said, if you're trying to be more attractive, you gotta look at your smile, you gotta look at your weight, if you're fit or not. All these things you need to take in consideration. All right, but like I've told you, you got to have your health first. Your health is the most important issue of the day, every day. I listen to a lot of other talk shows, and they talk about a lot of issues. Some are important, but nothing arises to the issue of your health. And if you're 20, 25 years of age, you don't think about that. But after you pass that 33-year-old mark, definitely 35, your body's going to begin to wear and tear, and it's going to show. And if you've been abusing it, you're going to know. You either gonna wake up knowing it, or you're gonna or you can't sleep because your body's at dis-ease. 404-622-4444. This is the People's Show. This is a holiday edition of the Your Health is Important. If you have any questions regarding either the topics we have or anything you want to discuss, the doctors are in.
That's right. And so tomorrow we want you to do everything in moderation. One of the problems that we have on a holiday like Thanksgiving is we get the big plate and we stack it high. Get a smaller plate, fill it with a reasonable amount of food, and then complete that. And if you want seconds, then go back for seconds. The problem is if we get a big plate, we feel obligated to finish that big plate off, and even though you're way past feeling comfortable now and getting that stuffed, unpleasant feeling, you still feel like, well, I don't want to throw good food away, so I'm going to eat it all. Or you just get caught up in conversation and laughing and joking and drinking, and then you realize that you've eaten far more than you normally would have. So start from the beginning by getting a small plate and only putting a small serving on there, and then getting seconds as your stomach tolerates. Even wait a little bit and then come back for seconds after your stomach has digested a part of that. Start your meal off with a room temperature glass of water, a full glass of water. That'll get you started and give you a sense of satiety, so you won't tend to overeat, and that'll kind of get things going in your stomach. And as Dr. Jackson proposed, you really don't need to drink anything while you're eating, because that interferes with your normal digestive process because it dilutes the acids. All right, we got a call. Hello, caller. You're live and on the air. Your health is important.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, yes. I just heard they said I always would try to get my daughter-in-law to not put hot food when it's hot in the freezer, after you done cooked it.
That's correct.
And you just said it. And I'm glad you said it. I've been telling her that all these years.
You heard it on the radio. And what happens for Thanksgiving in particular is most people stuff their refrigerator. It's usually multiple hot items. And it may take that refrigerator 4 or 5 hours to cool back down to the normal temperature with that kind of heat burden. So, when it's stuffed, it already can't function effectively when it's packed. But when you put hot food in there, that's it. So that was good advice, girl. You too smart. Let her know that you had affirmation and confirmation from the doctors on the Your Health is Important radio broadcast, and she needs to tune in and listen to.
All right, and thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Happy holiday to y'all.
Happy holidays.
Well, happy holidays to you too, man.
Okay. So what we like to do, and this is a good opportunity, take this opportunity because of the Thanksgiving meal to orientate your kids to vegetables and associate good feelings with good food like vegetables versus good feelings with bad foods like Cokes and ice cream. We celebrate successes and a lot of times with bad foods or, good behavior or whatever. We say, okay, we're going to give you an extra piece of cake or extra pie or whatever. But we need to start celebrating good feelings with good foods and say, look, we're going to make you up a smoothie and orientate that. But kids, because it's Thanksgiving, they oftentimes, one, they have more vegetable options than they normally would have. And two, everybody's eating it, so you just put it on the plate and see. But you may find out, I think that's how I found out I really like green bean casserole. It never would have been in my armamentarium previously, but I tried it on a Thanksgiving, and now I demand it on Thanksgiving. I said, I got to have my green bean casserole with the mushroom soup and almonds. So, that is one of the staples that the queen of the castle will prepare. Mrs. Collier, the First Lady, she does that quite well. So that's what we want to do. Remember to drink that full glass of water. And if you're drinking something other than water, it can be sweet tea, it can be soda, whatever. Also get a glass of water. Remember, you've already had one glass of water. Also get a full glass of water and finish that full glass of water before you refill whatever your other drink is. I see people all the time. We sit down to eat. They get a glass of water, particularly at a restaurant, a glass of tea, Coke, soda, whatever, and the glass of water will remain untouched.
Yeah.
It goes right back to the kitchen.
And then they ask for it. That's what make it so bad.
They ask for the water,
and if I was
never
a server, I was saying in my mind, I hope I get a tip for this because you asked for all this extra stuff and you didn't use it.
That's what I always, as soon as I sit down at the table, I do two things. I say, one, bring water for everybody. I don't even let them ask people if they want water. I say, bring water for everybody at the table and bring extra napkins. And once they've done that, well, I know they're listening. But when they forget the water and or they forget the extra napkins, I know they're just not even paying attention to anything that's being said. So that tip is going down, down, down. But if you're diabetic tomorrow, don't lose your mind, okay? We know that you're not banned from eating sweets. You can eat cake, you can eat pie. The problem is you don't need to eat cake and pie and then another piece of sweet potato pie, because that's a vegetable technically. So I got apple pie, I got ice cream. Decide on which dessert you're going to have and have a normal serving of that one dessert. Or make your dessert platter, but just get a small taste, 1 or 2 bites of multiple desserts, and then finish that off. But don't have entire servings of multiple desserts. It's going to make your sugar go crazy. The Thanksgiving meal is actually one of the healthiest meals that you eat all year. It's got the turkey as its key feature, and then always multiple vegetables. High protein, cranberry sauce on the side. I mean, it's a great meal. And so it's not going to shoot your blood sugar elevated at all, but a lot of people mess it up by that dreaded Southern staple at the table, sweet tea.
I was going to say.
Liquid sugar. That's all it is. So you can sit there and eat healthy and do just fine. You drink 2 glasses of sweet tea and your blood sugar shoots up to over 500. So avoid sweet tea. Either drink the tea with no sweetener in it or drink it with an artificial sweetener. I personally recommend stevia. I think that's very good. Yeah, or Splenda. That would be good as well. The stevia is ultra sweet, though. It takes much less than you would normally put in there for sweetening. So
I like
make sure you don't
Splenda
oversweet it.
It has less of an aftertaste.
Yeah, no aftertaste. That Splenda is great.
We cannot forget about letting the listeners know about when they're finally at the table and they're ready to eat. They're salivating. The food smelled good, so you're really hungry. Your stomach's growling. Everybody's trying to catch up on what they've missed the whole year or since their last encounter, and they're eating and talking. Some of them are drinking. Some of them are drinking libations, of which we'll touch on in a minute. But the ones that are eating and talking, remember, it's so easy to choke during them times, especially if somebody is saying something real funny or you're getting excited about a conversation, and you'll be eating and you'll try to talk and eat at the same time. It ain't going to happen, bruh. Somebody's going to choke, and if they choke, don't try to run over there right away to pat them on the back. Tell them why, Dr. Collier.
If they're making noise, if they're coughing or speaking while they're coughing and choking, then their airway is not blocked. Just let them work it out. But if they give you that quiet grabbing at their throat and you can't hear anything, they cannot respond to you verbally in a way that you can hear, then they got an airway obstruction. You don't need to wait at that point. But you don't start blowing in people's mouth. They stop that as far as resuscitation is concerned. There's no longer airway. You just pump the chest and or perform the infamous Heimlich maneuver, where you make a fist with your hand and put it in that person's sternum from behind and pull it abruptly toward you. And that usually will pop out any obstruction. For kids, you can just grab them by the ankles and turn them upside down. I know that actually happened to me when I was a kid. I remember it like it was yesterday. And my father grabbed me by the ankles and popped it out. And Dr. Collier's still here today.
All right. And something else that they cannot forget. Try to chew your food. You got to chew your food more than 5 times before you swallow it.
What's the recommended number? 20?
I'd say principally is Gomer Powell used to say 22 times, but I've tried to time it. It's about 15 to 20 times, depending on the texture of the food. But chew your food properly. If you have teeth, if you don't, that's why you need to see Dr. Jackson.
Absolutely. Do not gum down big chunks of food. If you're using your gums and no teeth, and there are a lot of people that are listening to this radio broadcast that are in there. Some people have teeth, and they take them out when they get ready to eat because they just prefer their gums in doing so. But
they're putting a lot of pressure on their stomach and digestive tract, which could lead to other problems down the line. And we got to talk about the alcohol, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and about don't drink and drive. All right? And the rule of thumb, if you've been drinking alcohol and people can smell that you've had alcohol, that means you've had too much. Because alcohol, it can be vaporous. In other words, once you get so much alcohol in your bloodstream, it comes through your pores. It comes out your mouth. That's where you have that alcohol breath where no matter how many times you brush your teeth or use mouth rinse,
we can
smell it. And Officer Popo can smell it.
Can't get past the breathalyzer.
Going through a lot of stuff for nothing. So heed that advice.
All right.
Don't be in jail over a DUI.
It's a holiday weekend. They're going to keep you in there on Monday. So you can't just be popping out the next day because the judge got to give you a hearing on Monday morning. This brings to a close.
Hold on a minute. Before we close out, I want to say our next broadcast, Dr. Collier, we're going to have an interesting entrepreneur on. Rapid Realty, that's my neighbor on Auburn Avenue. They may have an employment opportunity for y'all, so you make sure you listen. Okay, Dr.
All right. This brings to a close this holiday episode of the Your Health is Important radio broadcast, brought to you every second and fourth Wednesdays at 12:30. Why, Dr. Jackson?
Because
your health is important.
Enjoyed today's conversation with Doctors Millard J. Collier and Marlon V. Jackson.